Okay, hello again. I just seem to like making these videos when I'm outside. I'm walking again. The sun's getting ready to set. And I just wanted to, I haven't been out all day today. I've been like cleaning and it's actually like in the 40s, so it's not so bad now. But the last 2 days it was real cold, real icy. And the last 2 nights, every 2 hours, one of us would wake up and run the water. Like we drip the faucets and stuff, but then we would, every 2 hours, go run the water, hot and cold in the faucets, flush the toilets, run the shower and make sure everything's good. And then same thing in the kitchen. So, some sort of peel on the ground. That kind of stuff's always weird to me. I'm like, where did that come from? But yeah, so kind of tired since the last 2 nights. It's been up every 2 or so hours to do stuff, but worth it to make sure that the pipes and everything are okay. And they were okay. Everything was okay. And we're still going to be dipping down below freezing for the next several days, but nothing too bad at all. So nothing compared to what we were getting down to before. This is a little place where I crossed the creek. And oh, I was gonna, this is my topic for this video. Got some makeup on today because we're actually going out to Dallas for dinner this evening. When my boyfriend gets a day off on the weekend, we try to have a date night. And where we live, there's not a whole lot local out here, and it kind of gets old going to the same places over and over. So we go into Dallas usually, and have dinner there. And I don't know, we'll get up to something else. Not just dinner, we'll do something else too. Not sure what. I'm just noticing because of the lighting and everything. I have makeup that does not match my skin tone. It's like orangish, so it doesn't look so hot. But I'm a frugal person and I will not, unless it's really bad, I'm not gonna go out and buy more foundation when I've got a whole bottle. Like, I'll make it work. I'll use my powder, do what I have to do. But today, my boyfriend was working and his dad is teaching himself Spanish, and his dad lives with us. And I think I talked about it before, but my boyfriend made sure when we started talking, like right before we started dating, he was like, I need you to know, my dad lives with me. And he was like, my dad lives with me. I don't live with my dad. Goes a hawk. And so I thought that was funny. So yeah, this is his house and his dad lives with him, which I think is really sweet. Otherwise his dad would be alone. So yeah. So his dad is teaching himself Spanish, and so glad I got that on camera. That's hilarious. But yeah, so his dad is teaching himself Spanish. He's Mexican. He was born in Mexico, grew up there. I think he lived there till he was in his 20s, and moved here, brought the family over, and let's find a spot to put this. He didn't ever have a need to really learn English because the work that he did, he didn't have to know English, you know? So he never really learned it. He kind of knew enough, but he didn't know a ton. So the last few years, he's been teaching himself English. It's a little wonky, but it's okay. And so I'll hear him almost every day. He'll be like in his room and I'll hear him listening to his little English YouTube videos that teach him how to speak English. So today he comes in and he had written, he does writing as well. So he listens and then he writes it out so he can learn how to write it. And he came up and he was like, how do you say this? And he'd written out bought, B-O-U-G-H-T. And so I told him how to pronounce it, and then I told him how to spell it phonetically so he can remember how to pronounce bought. And so we were just kind of like talking about it, and he knew what it meant, he just didn't know how to pronounce it. And so then I was like, English is really weird, isn't it? It's just weird. And he started laughing. And I told him, I was like, I know it's hard to learn, but I really enjoy, like, my boyfriend and his dad mostly speak Spanish to each other, so I get to hear it every day. And I took Spanish when I was in high school, but you know, when you're not using it, it ends up kind of going away. And I used to work in a bakery where I like worked in the back baking, and most of the guys that worked back there with me were Guatemalans, so they spoke Spanish as their second language, actually. But I would get to practice it with them. But it's really cool hearing it every day, because I'm getting to where I can pretty much follow along on their conversations, but I would not be able to speak that to you. You know, like, I wouldn't be able to make the sentences myself in Spanish, but I can hear it and kind of know what's being talked about and follow along. So I really love that. And I just know that because I'm going to be around it for the rest of my life, most likely, hopefully, you know, I will just learn how to speak it, like, what's that called? By osmosis. And then, like, Dave, my boyfriend and I, David, we've talked about if we ever decide to have kids, that we'll definitely, we want his dad to only speak to the kids in Spanish so that they learn how to speak it fluently, and then I'll only speak to them in English, and then David can just, you know, whatever, back and forth, because he's fluent in both. But that's kind of, if we ever had kids, that would be the plan, so that they could be bilingual, which I think would be great. But the reason I'm saying all that is because when my boyfriend told me that his dad lived with him, I had kind of told myself that I would never live with in-laws ever again, because I had done that for a time before I got married. I had lived, my ex-husband, I had lived with his parents, and oh yeah, yes, I just made a $70 sale on eBay. I love it. Okay, but yeah, so I had lived with my ex-husband's parents before we got married. I know I was like an immature person. Like, I was very young at that time. I was 22, 23, and I had a lot of growth that I needed to do, but it also just, like, sucked. It was not a nice experience. And after that experience, I was like, I will never live with in-laws ever again. And then David comes along, and his dad lives with him. So I was like, well, first, of course, I got to get to know him, see if I even want to. I don't know what that was. There's a lot of, you know, we're in the country. People are hunting, like, all the time. So I knew I had to feel it out, and I did. And for a while I was like, well, you know, if we get together, maybe, like, eventually he can have his own, like, little house on the property or somewhere. I was kind of thinking that, but also at the same time, I'm like, this is, like, their life that they've been living for years. Like, I'm not going to be a bee and come up in their life and try to change everything up. No, I'm not going to be that way. But I just told myself, just keep feeling it out, see how it goes. And we've been together for over a year now, like a year and like 4 months. So that's pretty good. And I love his dad. I think his dad is awesome. He's very quiet. He keeps to himself. He is not he doesn't impose his, like, thoughts and ideas on you. He like understands that everybody's just who they are and everyone's gonna make their own decisions. So that's really nice. And so a few months ago, I was like, yeah, this is fine. Like, I do not want him ever having to be alone, and he needs to stay with us, like, no matter what. Unless, you know, maybe he's older, but it's like he could find an older woman and want to get married again and make their own home. That definitely could happen. I don't think it will, but it could. So if that happened, that would be wonderful for him, and we'd be super happy for him. But yeah, I just kind of like realized, like, it's okay. This will work. It'll be okay. And then we have a live-in babysitter if we ever have kids. So that was kind of just my topic for today, and kind of wanted to know what y'all's thoughts are on like living with the in-laws. Like, have you ever done that? What was your experience? Because it's like now I've had 2 experiences, and one was not so great and one's been wonderful. I know one thing as well, like his dad is a guy, a man, and I'm a woman, and I feel like sometimes when 2 women are living in a household, it can be harder. Heads can butt a lot more. So that could be why it's okay. I don't know, but it's going good for us. So I'm going to show you like where I've had you perched today. Right here. You're stuck right there. That's why it was a little bit wonky. But yeah, that's all for today. We're gonna go enjoy some Babe's chicken. We've never been there, but it's like a staple in the Dallas area, so that's where we're going. We're finally gonna try it out, and I cannot wait. Okay, bye.